Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing some propagating. I'm going to be taking some cuttings, making some new propagations, and I'm also going to show you some updates from my collection, some exciting things that have been going on at the moment. So the first thing I wanted to do was propagate this purple passion plant because I think this plant is really pretty. So I want to take some cuttings and share the love, give some of these away. So all you need to do for this one is to basically cut some cuttings that are long enough to go into a container of water. Just remove some of those lower leaves, that way you've got some extra nodes, and nodes are what you want for the roots to grow. And then once you've done that, you just need to pop it into a jar of water or any container really. It doesn't have to be clear either, it can be solid as well. Just make sure that at least one of the nodes is in contact with the water, and then all you've got to do is wait and your cutting should grow some root. These are mine, and you can see the submerged part is the part where I removed the leaves, so roots should grow from where the node is. I think they might also grow from the lower part of the stem as well, but we'll see. This is the first time I've propagated this plant, so I've just made sure that I've got a couple of nodes just to be on the safe side. The more nodes you've got, the more chance of success you've got. Next I'm going to be taking cutting from this Monstera adansonii, and I've found a piece here that I like. It's kind of started growing out of the base. It's not connected to a really long vine, so I'm going to take this one here. Okay, there we go. This is what I've cut. And this one does have several nodes, so I can probably get several propagations out of this piece. So let's have a look what we have here. I've got one cutting there. So this one has 2 leaves and a node there. Also an aerial root, that's a good thing to look for too. Aerial roots will ensure success. And then this piece here, I think I'll cut this one into 2 separate cuttings. See if I can keep that leaf there. Okay, so you can see that one also has a node and an aerial root. And then we have another one here that also has a node and an aerial root. I think this one has 2 nodes actually. So just dip those in some rooting powder and then just stick it in there. And then I've just filled these up with water, making sure that the water covers the nodes. And then it's just a case of waiting for these to root. So I'm just going to pop them in this container. And they can look pretty until they root. These are my purple passion plant ones. Not sure how long these are going to take to root. I've never done them before, so I'm really curious. I will keep you posted. So I also wanted to share with you guys some really exciting new updates in my collection at the moment. This is my Philodendron Brazil, and this is just going absolutely mental. It has reached the top of the pole. It's really growing in strong. The only downside I can really point out at the moment is that it's not quite full enough to be covering the pole. Obviously the leaves haven't grown in large yet, but I'd really like this plant to be fuller, so the only way I'm going to achieve that really is by having more vines. I do have some more vines here in the back, but there are some here that are a little bit younger than the others and they haven't quite caught up. But I've got this, I think it's one or two, yes, I've got 2 vines that are going up all the way up to the top of the pole. And then the other ones in and around are just small at the moment. So if I want to make this plant fuller, I'm either going to have to take some cuttings and replant them into the pot and then wait for them to grow, or I could keep my eye out for another one of these in the garden centre and just buy one to put in there. They are pretty inexpensive, so I may do that. At the moment, I'm not really ready to propagate because the leaves at the top of the vines, they still haven't hardened off, and I don't want to cut them off whilst they're still hardening off. So we'll see how it goes. And next I just wanted to update you on my Syngonium tricolour, because if you'd watched some of my previous videos, you may know that I actually bought this plant from the sale section, and unfortunately it turned out to have root rot and I lost most of the plant. I managed to salvage a little bit of it. This is all that's left. You can see though it's just put out that new leaf, that one there. So I was kind of excited thinking, does this new leaf mean it's recovering? But this leaf here has died off. And so I'm not sure. This could just be the fact that the oldest leaf is dying off, which is completely normal, so maybe it's okay. I'm not sure whether to be excited about this new leaf or disappointed about this leaf. I don't know. I'm kind of expecting this to die almost, because I had another piece in with this that died. The rest of it died. I've been doing my best, but it just isn't going very well. But you never know, maybe this will survive. New growth is a good sign, but as I say, it's very early days for this plant, and it has looked as though it might survive before and then it's just gone downhill, so I don't know. I'll keep trying, but I've got it in this little dinosaur planter at the moment. Another really cool thing is this Monstera Siltepecana cutting that I took. Well, this is several cuttings in here actually, but I plan on taking these and putting them back in with the main plant, and the main plant is just really spilling over at the moment. It's going absolutely mental. I'm so happy with it, but because this one is also doing so well, I figured I would put it back into the pot, so I'm going to do that sometime in the next week. This is the original plant. I did actually have this in my monthly favourites video, but just in case you missed that, this is the original plant that the cuttings came from. And so I'm just going to be putting that back in there and reuniting them. And you can see how prolifically this one's been growing. It's so beautiful. It just keeps putting out leaf after leaf. And I'm really pleased with this plant. I'm loving it. I do want to put it on a pole. I don't think I'm going to do that just yet. Maybe I will if I could find a small pole. I will have to keep my eye out next time I'm in the garden centre, but certainly sometime in the next week I feel like I'm going to either pot these back in together or possibly pick up a new pole and pot them in with that and see what happens. Now, another really exciting thing, well, exciting for me anyway, is that my Alocasia zebrina is actually growing a new leaf. And I know that might sound like something that shouldn't be too much of an event, but since I got this plant, it was coming in with a new leaf when I bought it, and it was really beautiful. But since then, I haven't actually had another new leaf yet. So this is kind of like the first new leaf in my care. And if you are also a plant parent, you'll know that the first new leaf in your care is kind of special. It's a compliment to your care for the plant. It means the plant is getting what it needs. And so yeah, I'm just really excited about that. I am expecting one of the other leaves to die off on this plant, because usually with alocasias that's how they work. I've actually been holding off on buying any new alocasias recently just because I wasn't quite sure whether I was being successful with them, and I was kind of holding back a bit, thinking maybe I should wait and see if I've got the right conditions for these plants. But this is giving me hope that it is going to be fine. Also, and I did actually mention this in my May favourites video, but I'm just going to mention it again in this video in case you didn't see it. Just very quickly, I repotted my Maranta cuttings back in with the main plant, and look how cool it looks. Marantas are so weird, I think, than the way they grow. This one's just, yeah, it's kind of growing in a strange way. I hoped that putting some cuttings in would help to kind of fill it out in more of an even fashion as it grows out, but we'll have to wait and see because I've just put them back in, so we'll see how that goes. But this should hopefully be a really big Maranta plant once it starts growing again. It is growing, but of course the cuttings are very new and I've just repotted it, so we'll need to give it a little bit of time before it kind of gets into its swing. I'm actually regretting not buying a lemon lime Maranta last time I was at the garden centre. One of you even said in the comments, but when I was watching it back, the video, when I was editing, I thought to myself, wow, those are really nice. Why did you not buy one of those? But that's okay, I can go back and get one another time. But yeah, really happy with that. And I'm always surprised when I pot Marantas how very fine their roots are. All the plants, they've got different types of roots, and I find it really interesting. Some of them, you know, like a ZZ plant, for example, they've got the big rhizome which looks like a potato, and you know, spider plants as well, they've got really big kind of tuberous roots, but Marantas, they've got very fine, delicate roots indeed, yeah. So yeah, you've got to be really careful when you repot them. You probably know if you've ever done a Maranta repot, but they're very delicate and you need to be careful not to break them. So hopefully I did okay. The plant seems to be okay, so, you know. I may also put this in a hanging basket at some point too, because eventually it's going to start just like spilling over. But anyway, that's enough about that. And then of course I just have to very quickly mention the apples of my eye, my pink Syngoniums. I am absolutely obsessed with these. As you can see, I have 2 of them. So I potted up the newest one that I got, which was in water, and I put it into soil. It's growing a new leaf. I'm so happy. It looks pink, and I just love these pink Syngoniums. They bring me so much joy. I adore Syngoniums. I'm absolutely addicted. But eventually I'm going to pot these up together, but I'm just really happy that they're doing well. Obviously these were healthy when I got them, so unlike my tricolour, they weren't rotting when I bought them. So, you know, I was sad to have lost that one, but I took a chance and bought a sale plant. It happens, it's no big deal. But yeah, loving my pink Syngoniums, and I just can't wait for these to grow huge so I can make loads and loads of these. Then I also wanted to show you this Syngonium. This is actually a propagation that I took from the main mother plant, and this one is just doing so well. I actually have 2 of these. One of the other ones is going to someone has adopted it, but I've decided to keep one because I'd like to track its progress as it goes through the year, and I can come back to it and say, look how it's grown. But this is how it is so far. It's got some beautiful new leaves here. It's got more new leaves coming in, and I have this one in a macrame hanger as well. I think it looks really nice in there. But I'm just so obsessed with Syngoniums, as you may know if you've been on my channel before. And yeah, so to see this this baby doing well from my cuttings is really good. The other one's doing really well too, and that one's going to a new home very soon. So I've got that one near to my grow light at the moment because I'm trying to make sure it really does well. I like to get my cuttings growing and doing really well before I give them away, just to make sure that the person I give them to gets a healthy, happy plant. And this monstrosity here is my wall, kind of a wall. It's just a whole load of Pothos cuttings. These are the cuttings that I took from my main mother plant. You may have watched that video. Basically the plant had rotted, so I had to cut the whole thing up, and this was the result. I've put all of the cuttings into soil, and we're just waiting for them to root. So a few of the leaves have died back, 2 of the cuttings failed, the rest are doing really well. That's all really normal. I'm keeping the soil moist, and hopefully we will have some brand new pothos plants at some point. But yeah, the plant didn't get wasted at all. It's doing just fine, as you can see. And I'll probably give some of these away as well, because do I really need this many pothos plants? Probably not. But yeah, I'm just really happy that they're doing really well. Then finally, I have to share my Chinese money plant, because I repotted this and it has a lovely new leaf coming in. So cute. Better not touch it. I shouldn't have done that. But anyway, it's so gorgeous and cute. And yeah, it just seems to be doing really well. I'm so happy that it seems happy. I just said happy way too many times, but yeah, I really love this plant. It's so pretty and dainty and elegant. So that pretty much wraps up today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. 90% of my viewers are not subscribed. So hit that subscribe button if you want to see more from me. If you're also a crazy plant person, you're welcome here. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.